Absurd. Definition: adjective, wildly unreasonable, illogical, or inappropriate. It's either that or it's going to be the title of my autobiography. Hi, my name is Todd Regoulinsky. I'm a writer, and the absurd idea that I was kind of talking about before is my new book. It's Okay, 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 and it is a book of poems that is based on people's last words. That in and of itself seemed like a bit of an absurd notion to me, and it also then became further absurd when I started to think about actually asking people to buy and read this book. However, I think it turned out really well, and as I said before in another video, it's much more of a celebration of life than about dwelling on people's last moments of life. So the idea for this came about because I've been writing poetry for 30 years, and I'm really self-taught at it, which goes along very nicely with a lot of other things in my life. I'm a graphic designer by day, and I'm pretty much self-taught at that. I play bass and sing. I'm really self-taught in those. I have not really had an official lesson with either of those things. Whether that's a good or a bad thing, I'll let you decide. However, poetry just became this thing I started doing before I really understood what I was doing, if that makes any sense. I didn't read a whole lot of poetry. I just started writing it one day, and it kind of made sense. I had no idea what I was doing, and so I would read a little bit of poetry, and then I'd incorporate some of that into what I was writing. And what that ended up creating was this methodology that was kind of haphazard, but it was also very centered on me. And therefore, my poetry really has been what I would call confessional poetry. I have no idea if that's an actual term. It sounds good, but I have no idea if your local English department would approve of it. However, that's what I'm going to call it. It was all about my emotions, my thoughts, my experiences, what I was feeling, what I was seeing, what I was going through. And in that way, it kind of functioned as a form of therapy, really. It helped me just deal with and grapple with a lot of things that were inside of me that I really didn't have any idea how to deal with. And this is how I managed to deal with them. However, after years and years and years of doing that, you kind of get tired of writing about yourself and hearing your own self-talk. And believe me, the irony of me saying that while talking into a camera is not lost. Believe me, this is just as uncomfortable as it is for you, I'm sure. So I set out to do something different, and for this project I kind of set out to write a book, and to write the poems in that book differently than I had written anything else before. And in order to do that, I felt like I kind of needed some poetry prompts. I needed something to help get my head out of my head, I guess. And I'm not a fan of normal poetry prompts. For whatever reason, they just never quite gel for me. They don't spark anything. It's usually like write about your favorite color or your first pet or 5 things laying around your office. It just doesn't do anything for me. If it works for other people, believe me, I'm not here to yuck your yum. It just doesn't work for me. So I was searching for this thing. I didn't know what it was, and I was up late one night, and I ended up going down this internet rabbit hole, as you do, and found my way to, it was either Wikipedia or Wikiquote. I can't remember which one it was, because this was a long time ago. I've been working on this book for longer than I care to tell you, which is why I'm not going to tell you. And so I found these quotes, and somewhere in the back of my head I thought, oh, hey, that'd be a great idea to write some poems about those. Kind of joking with myself, and didn't realize afterwards that this would kind of become the thing that I would do. One thing about this idea is it was very persistent for me. I couldn't ignore it. I kept going back to it. I would start writing poems, and I would stop, and I'd throw the item, I'm not going to do that. And then I would come back to it months later, and I'd start again, and then I'd stop, and I'd start again, and I'd stop. And part of the reason for that was the actual mechanics of it, which I will get into my next video, because it became this different process, not just a different theme, but a different process for how I had to write these poems in order to write them. And so going through all of that, it did kind of take me out of it, but yet I also discovered that no matter what I write, there's always going to be some of me in the poems. And it helped me to get more comfortable with that idea that no matter what I'm writing, I'm there. I'm the author. And I've become much more okay with that. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to have more videos coming up. Like I said, the next one is going to talk about the actual mechanical process, kind of the nuts and bolts inside baseball of the writing of the poems. And then after that, I'll probably talk about the title and maybe some other things. So please feel free to subscribe, share this with some other people if you like, and be sure to pick up your copy. You can get it at Amazon, Bookshop, BarnesandNoble.com, and all of those links are in the description below. You can also go to buymypoetry.com, which will take you to my website. It'll have links for all of those as well. You can also get a copy of my other book, Odd Bits of Broken Things, by going to there as well. And thank you for watching.